Okay, hello. I am back. Let's see if I can make it so that this isn't. I probably should have just done the other way. That works. Okay, so I said I would come back, and I do need to still, I think, get some links, but I think I can do that after I do the video. So I did have a subscriber ask about emotional triggers, and I basically started talking about emotional flashbacks, and I want to explain to you from some paperwork that I had printed off of Richard Grannon's website. Anyway, so he has some, was that any links on here? He's got some workshops, and the name of his life coaching, it's spartanlifecoach.com, and he basically has really good information. So let's get started really quick. His little well, it's not really all that little, it's probably like 20 pages, maybe a little bit more. How to stop an emotional flashback explains what an emotional flashback is. I'm not going to go into depth about his information because I'd rather you go on his site and see what he has to offer, because he's got a lot to offer. I'll tell you that right now. But his first description is of what an emotional flashback is. Okay, so he basically in this paragraph distinguishes between an emotional flashback and the concept of a flashback that most people are familiar with, like with war veterans, maybe a car accident or something like that. It says a flashback, as it is normally used, is a psychological phenomenon where a past experience is mentally relived in the present moment. It usually infers that it is relived vividly and dramatically, and that the experience is invasive and upsetting. Again, I am quoting from Richard Grannon, so I'm not trying to steal his work or anything like that. I just am basically, I'm trying to sell it, I guess, because you know what, go on his website, he's smart. Let's see. Like being hijacked by unwanted thoughts or feelings, or feeling like a brain is attacking itself. It can be used to describe a vivid, unusual, and or traumatic experience. Let's see here. Psychedelic drugs can leave the user with persistent flashbacks to the hallucinogenic perceptual state, which can be disorientating. Violent trauma can leave the victim with experience of flashbacks to the moment the trauma was experienced. At its most benign manifestation, it could be also just a very strong, pleasant memory. The point is that it usually experienced as immersive and intense. This is a flashback as it is normally used.
Can I tell you something? Remember yesterday I said I can play Minecraft?
Give me 1 minute, I'm just going to finish this video.
Then I can do Minecraft?
Maybe. Go on now.
I just found it. Welcome to the couch. This is my leg.
This type of flashback is often initiated by external identifiable triggers in the environment. Like I said, a car accident or a gunshot, an object, color, person, situation, smell, feeling, or sensation. Standard PTSD flashbacks come with identifiable visual, auditory, kinesthetic triggers, and the flashback memory will be of an external event which is encoded and replayed, like all memories, as a visual, auditory, kinesthetic experience with concurrent emotions. Emotional flashbacks, simply put, have exactly the same root mechanism as standard flashbacks, but they are caused by and manifested in different ways. Instead of a flashback to the intensely traumatic or intensely pleasant event in which the conscious mind relives the roller coaster ride of sound, visuals, sensations, and emotions, the mind and the body flashback only to the emotions of the initial trauma. So this is one of the things that people with CPTSD deal with. The reason why it's CPTSD is because it's complex and usually over years. So it's trauma that keeps happening and happening and happening, not one trauma here, and so forth. In CPTSD, the memory of the emotional flashback is therefore not identifiable visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, but only encoded as the emotions experienced at the point of the initial traumatic experiences, not once, but over and over again. So this workshop that I printed out, I can't really see it that great. It's backwards, so forget it. Like I said, Richard Grannon, he came up with a little workshop on how to stop them. At this point, we should point out that the flashbacks are created in two different and important ways. To bear in mind that this is an oversimplification given only for the ease of understanding, and that, of course, the two types of flashbacks can always overlap. There is no PTSD without CPTSD, and no CPTSD without PTSD. Also, really, that was a tablet. Anyways. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if I can get to the two types there. The two types of flashbacks can and always do overlap, meaning there's the emotional flashback. Oh, this is nice. It's attractive. And then the PTSD type flashback where you have a specific instance. Anyways, listen. I will try and see if I can find a link to this program and or what I would call a workshop, and hopefully help some people out. That's about it. It basically goes on to tell you how you can take control of how you feel and how you can recognize when you're having an emotional flashback. And I've done that. I have recognized it's very, very difficult, and like sometimes I just have no reason whatsoever to be having some type of an emotional response. The other day I'm at work and it was like an overwhelming sense of like sadness came over me, and something triggered it. It was literally like there was nothing around to trigger it. I couldn't even figure it out. And today I did have also a trigger because I'm sitting here. Thanksgiving's coming around. I'm not speaking with my parents, and my aunt shows up at the door, and I had a text message the night before that said, are you guys okay? Which is fake. My parents are narcissists, so this is why I have CPTSD. I'd like to incorporate a little bit about narcissism in it too. I don't want to go in depth about narcissism. I'm not a narcissism expert anyways, but hopefully this helps some people out, and I'll see if I can manage to link some stuff in here that can help you. That's from Richard Grannon's site. He also has his own YouTube page. Very, very good stuff. All right, guys. Bye. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.